Today, you're connected more than ever. Your friends, your family, your life. Having a partner that understands banking is what you do on your time, anywhere you like. It's about being connected. Renaissance Bank, understanding you.
Sponsored by Renaissance Bank.
Good morning, Northeast Mississippi. This is Newsbreak for Thursday, December 15th. I'm Brad Locke. Thanks for joining us. You can catch Newsbreak every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Watch it at djournal.com, Facebook, YouTube, or the Daily Journal mobile apps for Apple and Android devices. I'm going to give you quick updates now on news, sports, and weather for Northeast Mississippi on this Thursday. Let's start with the weather underground forecast, and temperatures are going to be all over the place the next few days. Today we're going to have clear skies, a high of just 40, low of 26, 0% chance of rain. The 3-day outlook, getting into the weekend, Friday it's going to be mostly cloudy with a high up to 52 and a low of 50, 20% chance of rain. Then Saturday going to warm up significantly with thunderstorms likely, a high of 71, low of 33. The chance of rain is 90%. Sunday partly cloudy, high of just 34, low of 19, and a 20% chance of rain. Okay, let's take a look now at some of the top stories from your Daily Journal and djournal.com on this Thursday. Police officers often have to make split-second decisions on whether to shoot, and cadets in the Citizens Police Academy got a taste of that Tuesday night. About half of the most recent CPA class went through lifelike scenarios on the firearms training simulator machine at the North Mississippi Law Enforcement Training Center in Tupelo. The other half will get their shot next Monday. The $75,000 training system is essentially a video game on steroids. A computer controls more than 250 pre-recorded scenarios, which are projected life-size on the wall of a large, darkened room. The scenarios have officers responding to a variety of calls, from traffic stops to domestic violence to shots fired. Lieutenant Bobby Carnathan said instructors are looking for officer presence and verbal commands, and the scenarios change based on the commands given. And if you hesitate, you could get shot in simulated fashion. Following each scenario, the computer displays the number of shots fired and whether the shots hit or missed their target. Now, while the machine is used most often for judgmental scenarios, it can also be used for target practice and for basic handgun training. November was a particularly dismal month for state revenue collections. The report recently compiled by the Legislative Budget Committee staff shows that revenue collections in November were $35.2 million. That's 8.8% below the official estimate that was used at the end of the 2016 legislative session in April to fund the budget for the current fiscal year. Mississippi revenue collections have been sluggish for a while now. Through the first 5 months of this fiscal year, which began July 1st, collections are down $50.9 million, or 2.51% below the amount collected during the same time period last year. All three sources of revenue are down year over year. Personal income tax is down 4.5%, corporate income tax 3.8%, and sales tax 1.9%. And all three sources are down for the month of November by larger margins than for the year. Republican leaders blame the low tax collections on the national economy. Others cite more than $300 million in tax cuts provided over the past 5 years, particularly to businesses. If state revenue collections do not improve, additional cuts to state agencies could be coming during the 2017 legislative session, which begins January 3rd. Tupelo city leaders are hoping private developers will build homes on a parcel of land in the historic Mill Village neighborhood. The city obtained about 2.5 acres, partially through donation and partially through purchase, and is seeking development proposals from the private sector. City leaders want to see approximately 10 homes built on the site, which is bounded on the east by Frisco Alley, on the south by railroad tracks, and on the north by Magazine Street. Privately owned land lies to the west. Shane Hooper, Tupelo's Director of Development Services, said Mayor Jason Shelton's administration wants to see single-family detached residences built on the land. He said businesses and apartment complexes are not up for consideration. The city has released a formal request for proposals asking developers to submit their plans for the property within parameters established by the city. Hooper said he's very optimistic that suitable proposals will be submitted. Back in May, the Tupelo City Council approved spending approximately $50,000 on property in Mill Village, including some of the land that now constitutes the Frisco Alley site. It's part of an effort to help revitalize the neighborhood. And in sports, the Ole Miss defense got a bit of good news on Wednesday. Defensive end Marcus Haynes announced that he will be returning for his senior season. He made the news known on Twitter, saying that after talking with his parents and head coach Hugh Freeze, he felt it was best to forego the 2017 NFL Draft. Haynes, a native of Jacksonville, Florida, was the third leading tackler for an Ole Miss defense that often struggled this season. He made 53 stops to go with 11 tackles for loss and 7 sacks. He tied for the team lead with 8 quarterback pressures, broke up 3 passes, forced 3 fumbles, and recovered a fumble. That's it for Newsbreak on this Thursday. We do want to remind you to check out a couple of the podcasts we produce here at the Daily Journal. The Memo, All Things Northeast Mississippi, with myself and W. Derek Russell every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Find new episodes at memo.djournal.com. You can find them in iTunes or any of your podcast apps as well. Now, we did not have an episode produced on Wednesday. We will have one today, so look for that. And also look for Prep Rally, a high school sports podcast with myself, Blake Morgan, and Gene Phelps. Normally, every Wednesday, this episode will be available today. You can find it for free in iTunes, your podcast apps, and at preprally.djournal.com. All the stories I talked about today you can find in your Daily Journal and at djournal.com. Follow us on Twitter at djournalnow and give our Facebook page a like as well. That's it for Newsbreak on this Thursday. I'm Brad Locke. We'll see you next time.